Hello friends, and welcome to day 10, our final practice in the No Pain series with Towne Yoga. We're going to start laying on our backs today, just letting you know that now in case you want to come settle in with your feet planted in front of your hips. Before we start, I just want to take a moment to invite you to support Towne Yoga. If you've appreciated this series, if it's provided some benefit to you or a loved one, I encourage you to head over to patreon.com where you can support Towne Yoga directly and also have an impact in future content, including suggestions around pain management. So getting right into our practice now, our final one, come on down to laying on your mat, on your back, with your feet planted in front of your heels. And just take a moment to settle in. Again, you can let your knees fall in towards each other or leave them up to the sky. You can have your palms face up or down by your sides or resting on your belly. Finding a little bit of comfort as you relax heavy down onto the mat. A very short Patreon follow-up before we get started. I will put a link to that in the description in case you're not familiar with Patreon. It is a platform where you can directly support content creators so that we can keep creating great content. Allow your next few breaths to be just a little bit deeper, drawing air down into your belly. And very slowly, taking your own path and your own pace, begin to draw your knees towards your chest, resting one hand on top of each shin or behind your thighs. And just take any little movements that feel good here. Maybe you rock, maybe you circle, extend your legs straight. Just any movement that calls to you for a few breaths, warming up your low back and your legs. Maybe a little into your hips. And then you're going to set your feet back down in front of your hips like they were, nice and close in. Send your right leg up towards the sky. And you can take your hand to frame your leg or interlace it behind your thigh as you just move your ankle a little here. Kind of circling or moving side to side and drawing it back towards your shin. And we're going to come into a figure 4. So take your right ankle and begin to set it on top of your left knee as your right knee points out towards the right. Now take a moment to draw your toes up towards your shin, engaging the muscles along your shin to help protect your knee. And if you'd like, you can take your hand just below your knee and kind of use your palm to rotate your thigh a bit towards the outside and then gently press it away from your body. And your left hand can rest by your side or maybe even on your hip for a bit of anchoring. And we're just going to pause here for a few breaths in this figure 4 pose. Feeling that rotation come at your right hip here. And you can choose to stay just here. Or if you'd like, you can take your right hand away from your knee, reach it between your legs as your left hand comes to the outside. And then you lift your left foot, interlacing your fingers behind your thigh. If that's not accessible, maybe you can take a belt or a bathrobe strap or even just a towel and place that behind your leg and hold that. And we'll just slow down for a moment here, hugging your thigh in towards your chest for a few rounds of breath. Remembering you can set your left foot back down, back to figure 4 at any time if that serves you better. And take a few more slow rounds of breath here. Call this reclined pigeon. You might even play with your right elbow, kind of pressing it into your thigh a little bit, pressing it away. And if you've lifted your left foot up, go ahead and set that back down. Your hands by your sides or on your hips. We're going to come down to a reclined figure 4 or reclined tree pose. So begin to slowly walk your left foot away from your body, just one step at a time, bringing your heel down. And when you're ready, you'll send your left leg out straight. Your right ankle is still on top of your knee, and now your right knee is pointing out to the right. If this feels good, stay just here in this kind of reclined figure 4 posture. Or come to a reclined tree by just sliding your right foot off of your thigh and placing it on your inner thigh or down at your inner calf. And you can let your right knee fall out wide to the side. If that's too much, maybe you place a pillow underneath your right thigh. And to make it a true reclined tree, take a moment to draw your left toes up towards your shin like you're standing. And you can leave your hands to your hips. You can leave them by your sides. Or we say grow your branches. Maybe you want to send your hands overhead with arms straight or elbows bent. Finding your comfort here in reclined tree or reclined figure 4 for a few slow rounds of breath. When you find a comfortable or less painful position, you just pause and kind of settle into that for a few breaths, just letting your inhales and exhales be your primary movement. To transition out, you're going to send your right knee over to the right and then loop it in towards your chest, giving a little bit of a hug towards your armpit. And then you're going to take your right leg across your body, coming onto your left side, laying on your left. And let that knee come down, and you can take your palms out in front of your body. You can use your left bicep as a pillow if that feels better, maybe turning your palm down. Or you can open into a twist, taking your right hand out wide, either to the ground or interlacing your fingers and resting them on your ribs. Yogi's choice where you'd like to take this posture. Maybe you explore each of them before settling into the one that feels best. And maybe you're like me and you kind of rolled off your mat a bit. That's fine. And when you're twisting, sometimes it's harder to breathe deeply down into your belly. So just slow your breath down a bit. Without forcing, give it time to come down through your chest to your belly. And then on each exhale, you just gently lengthen with your release of air. If you're in your twist, come back to laying on your left side. And taking your hands towards your left knees, you draw it back into laying on your back, knee towards your armpit. And then set your right foot down in front of your hip, drawing your left foot up, giving yourself a little bump, a little wiggle to reset your spine. And we'll take that same flow on our second side now. Inhale your left foot up to the sky, interlace your hands behind your thigh, and just give a little movement to your ankle in any way that feels good. And we'll come back into figure 4 on the second side, setting the outside of your left ankle on top of your right knee as you bend your left knee out towards the left. Flexing your toes to your shins to engage the muscles that attach from here into your knee. And don't press right on your knee, instead take your hand down a little bit Maybe use your palm to kind of rotate your thigh as you gently press it away from your body, right hand to your side or resting on your hip. Be mindful that it's going to feel different on different sides, and that's okay. Honor each pose in the present moment. Without forcing, just letting gentle pressure help open at the left hip. Definitely found my tighter side for the day, so I have to do that mental reminder that it's okay to be uneven. Maybe I'll hold this side a little longer after our practice. And you can choose to stay just here, or reach your left hand through the center of your legs, your right hand to the outside, and interlace your fingers behind your thighs. You hug in, maybe using a strap instead, and your right foot lifts off the ground. Even deeper variation of this posture is bringing your hands over the top of your shin and relaxing your shoulders and neck down, but honor where your body is today. Take a few more slow rounds of breath here with your right foot up or down, yogi's choice, taking any little movements. And when you find a comfortable or good stretch, you pause there to breathe. And we'll come down into a reclined figure four retreat, setting your right foot to the mat. Hands to hips as you just slowly walk your right foot away from your body until sending it out all the way straight. Your left ankle is still resting on top of your knee with your left knee out wide. Or you can slide it off, letting the sole of your foot come to your calf or your inner thigh. And you can take your tree branches down by your sides, or maybe you grow them overhead or take them wide. Yogi's choice, wherever you'd like to be in this reclined tree pose. Maybe drawing toes to shins for a bit of reality like we're standing in a tree. Each exhale is just a little invitation for your body to release down towards the earth a bit heavier. Each inhale an opportunity to draw air down into where you need space. And we'll transition out, sending your left knee over to the left, looping it back into your chest for a little hug before taking this across your body as you lay onto your right side. You can stay laying on your right, or maybe you open your left arm out for a twist. And if it's too much in the shoulder like it is on mine, you can interlace your fingers and rest them on top of your rib cage here in your twist. I'll also mention if you need a gentler version, you can slide your bottom knee underneath, kind of lifting your knees up a bit, and then your shoulder might be able to relax further down. Wherever you choose to be in your twist, just pause and breathe here.
taking a few more slow rounds of inhales and exhales, creating space as you draw in and lengthening through as you let it out. And then you'll come back to laying on your right side, using your hands to your thigh to draw your left knee back to the center with a little hug before setting it down and drawing your right foot up, taking any little bumps or wiggles to find a comfortable laying position. You can let your backs relax down again, knees to the sky or facing in as we end our practice here. And it's our last one, my yogis, but that doesn't mean your last Towne yoga practice. Please do check out some of my other videos. I have a gentle vinyasa flow, restorative in bed, great for chronic pain. Or go back through this series 1 through 10 again and maybe make a daily practice out of it. With hands to heart center, I'd like to let you know that the light in me honors and respects the light in you. Namaste.